I'd like to call our second public hearing to order to consider amending Ordinance 2004-105, a hotel tax revenue sharing agreement to support redevelopment of 1700 Nations Drive. Roll call, please, Andy.
Garner.
Aye.
Thorstenson.
Here.
Balmus.
Present.
Hood.
Here.
Wilson.
Here.
Ross.
Here.
6 present.
All right. We are in our public hearing. Patrick will introduce the topic.
Sure. So we had a memo from our Economic Development Director, Ellen Dean, on this. As you know, we have a revenue sharing agreement that's in effect with Key Lime Cove. Dates back to 2004, and of the 7% total tax that we levy on Key Lime, which is 2% resort tax, 5% hotel tax, the village rebates half of that, so 3.5% back to Key Lime Cove. Was a agreement that was capped at $22 million or 20 years, whichever came first, so that would take it out to 2028. Recently, the village was approached by Great Wolf Lodge Resorts regarding possible acquisition of the property, looking to completely rebrand it to their Northwoods theme as a part of that to make it make sense financially for them. They wanted to take a look at that agreement, which we did. In order to make it work for them, they need to have that entire amount left on the Key Lime agreement available to them, which is $18 million. So staff went back, we took a look at it, and were able to rework the inner workings of the agreement. The agreement still remains 20 years in length, still remains capped at $22 million, but we tweaked the internals of the agreement. Like I said, with Key Lime, we rebate 50% back of the tax we levy. What we did with this amendment is we'll continue the same sharing agreement as we had with Key Lime with Great Wolf up into a certain dollar amount, a base that the village set. After that base is reached, then 100% of the taxes would be rebated to Great Wolf. So we set the base at $550,000 in the first year, and then we have a CPI adjustment going forward. So between $0 and $550,000, we'll share 50-50. After $550,000, 100% would go to Great Wolf. Based on the projections we've been provided, that would get them to that $18 million. Again, the agreement's capped at $22 million or 20 years, so they reach the $18 million that's hanging out there before the agreement expires. The agreement's done. They don't reach the $18 million before the end date. The agreement's done. Some of the highlights of the agreement that are in there, Attorney Winter worked on this. Calls for the developer to invest a minimum of $65 million in the renovation of the property, which would include an additional $20,000 of indoor or 20,000 square feet of indoor water park space, some outdoor water amenities. As I said, we set that base amount in there, which must be reached before we start rebating the 100% to Great Wolf. Also included some revenue in there for Visit Lake County, which would be paid directly to them. That would start in year 3 of the agreement, and then ramp up after that for the last 7 years. After they're still working to acquire the property. Once they acquire it, and I can let Great Wolf speak a little bit more, but the timeline we've been provided is looking to close it shortly after spring break, and then be closed for a year while the renovations take place. So during that year, the agreement would be paused. They won't be generating any revenue, so there's no revenue to kick back to them, so we'll pause the agreement. Once they open back up, then the agreement would pick back up. So those are kind of a quick run through of the highlights of the agreement. It's pretty short and sweet. We have Bryson Heasing here. He's the Director of Development from Great Wolf, so I'll turn it over to him. He's got some introduce Great Wolf and run through a quick presentation for you.
Excited to have you here, Bryson. Welcome.
Thank you. I think I hit the wrong button already.
And once again, if there's anyone that's going to give any testimony at this time, I'll swear you in, and this includes you. Anyone else? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Can you hear me okay? Am I close enough here? So I just, thank you for giving us this opportunity. I just want to take a couple minutes to express who Great Wolf is and the opportunity we see in the Gurnee market. Usually when I'm talking to villages, cities, towns like this, I'm introducing what is an indoor water park. I'm not going to spend a lot of time doing that, as Wisconsin Dells isn't too far away, the water park capital of the world. But if you do have any other questions about exactly what is an indoor water park, let me know. I anticipate that most of you, if not all of you, have either been to one or experienced one. The key here, though, is that we are the leaders. We see about 5 million guests a year. We have over 6,000 PAC members across the U.S. We're the experts in the industry. We're very proud of that. We're very, very proud of the work our teams do on site and what our brand represents across the U.S. Just a quick overview of where we're located to show you that we have a lot of experience in different markets. We have a lot of data to pull from to identify new markets. We know where we want to be. We know where we have opportunity, and we see a lot of opportunity in the Chicago market. So who's our target customer? As you would expect, it's families with children, 2 to 12, typically with higher than average income levels, willing to drive 1 to 4 hours. It's Chicago hits that sweet spot really well for us. Being in Gurnee, which is already a family destination, which has a lot of other aspects like Gurnee Mills Mall, Six Flags, other things that people can do in the market. Some of our surveys have indicated that 67% of the people that visit the current property are actually visiting some of these other amenities. So it's very important for us to support those amenities and have them support us. So it all comes down to creating family traditions, one family at a time. This is our mission statement. This is what we do. So our goal is to create an all-inclusive atmosphere, brand, theming, a whole feel around the vacation experience. This is what we want to bring to the property. This comes with our North Lodge themes. It comes with the restaurants. It comes with the attractions, the water park expansion that the village has identified as being a minimum of 20,000 square feet. This is where the $65 million investment is going to be spent. It's going to be creating this tradition that brings families back to Gurnee every year or multiple times a year. The key to it all is the water park. In our opinion, the water park underserves the current clientele. We want to expand it. The village has realized the same thing and put that minimum requirement on us. We think this will help sustain the long-term success of this project. Just a couple shots of some of our water parks, and for those that have been to the current property does a fantastic job. It's really well maintained. It's a great staff. Everybody there is fantastic, but we just think it's missing some of the amenities to help it compete with other assets. Just some more shots of our water parks and our great tipping bucket. Beyond the water park, we think it's as important to offer dry play amenities, food and beverage outlets. These are the things that we want to add to the current property to bring it up to what families are expecting of the Great Wolf brand. In a lot of our locations, we have multiple food and beverage outlets that range in, there's various costs, various types of foods. There's ice cream, there's candy, there's all the things that will make your kids pull at your pockets and spend your money. Sorry, my clicker is freezing. So outside the water park for fun, these are just a couple examples of the things that we offer our customers. There's the Scoops Kids Spa, where you can get a ice cream flavored manicure, pedicure. There's mini bowling, Magi Quest, which is like a virtual scavenger hunt, and ropes courses that can range from 2 stories to 3 stories with free jumps, and just really great all-around family experiences. Another key to our properties is just they're for families. So we try to create these really unique spaces to help generate memories and drive this repeat business. And many of our guest rooms have this theming where you either have a kid cabin or a wolf den, and the kids have their own bunk beds with the video games and the really cool theming to them, and then outside the parents can have their own space. And we've been very successful with these, and these are some of the aspects that we would like to bring to this project. The center of everything, though, is our lobby. Our lobby is where you experience the Family and Friends show, or otherwise known as the Clock Tower show, which is a free show. Anybody can attend 2 times a day. It's a great experience to see a lot of the kids out here with their parents at 8 o'clock in their pajamas and having cookies and falling asleep and being carried back to their rooms. I've been with Great Wolf for about 8 years now, and every time I visit a lodge, this is the best. I speak highly of the brand because of this type of stuff, and this is where the tradition occurs. This is where families really just get to be together. They don't have to rush to be anywhere. They get to hear a story. They get to watch the Clock Tower show. It's just a really, really exciting experience. Some more just fun family kid stuff. My favorite photo, of course, is the upper right one. I don't know why. I just love that picture. And just being involved with the community is important to us, and I thought it's important to make that point here, that we don't do national brands and national charities. It's all local. So our general managers, our marketing staffs, they work with the local community to figure out what's important to the community. And we'll have, day pass events and things like that once in a while on low occupancy times to generate charity profits, and then we donate those to the local select charities. In the end, it's all about families. It's all about making time for these families and creating this experience that makes them want to come back every time. And it's a fun. If you haven't been to a Great Wolf, hopefully you can go and see what it's all about. But I'm proud to be here and be able to share this with you. And if there's any questions, I'm more than willing to answer them.
Just to summarize what Pat said, we're extending the agreement by a year while they renovate, and then we've changed the split tranches so that they can maximize what's left on the existing agreement. We're not putting anything additional on the table. We're just changing it up so they can take advantage of what's already in place, and Key Lime's been underperforming. So questions from the trustees, and then I will open it up for public comment.
Do you have convention facilities in this, or is it more just the theme park and hotel rooms?
Our portfolio has varying sizes from about 5,000 square feet up to 40,000 square feet. This project already has meeting space, so we'll be bringing our expertise to this project to manage that meeting space.
All right. And are you going to be expanding that at all, or is it?
Right now, we're not sure,
what's
but
existing?
right now, we're not looking at expanding the meeting space.
And when you add to the water park, you're bumping out that wall?
The wall
on the
facing
west end, the toll road?
interstate?
Yeah.
Likely that's the only way to expand. I think the property line will force us to do it that way.
And will the tubes be all inside then, or will you still have,
The tubes will be out. They'll be outside and inside, both.
Okay.
It's hard to do it fully committed one way or the other.
Okay. Just curious. Anybody else?
All right, I will open the floor. It's a public hearing, so if anybody from the public would like to give comment. You're probably all here for the 7 o'clock. Okay, I'll close the floor to public comment. Again, this is a recommendation for us to vote on at our 7 o'clock meeting. As part
So
of our
moved.
Motion by Trustee Balmas.
Second.
Second by Trustee Wilson. This is a recommendation, positive recommendation. Roll call, please, Andy.
Garner.
Aye.
Thorstensen.
Yes.
Balmas.
Aye.
Hood.
Yes.
Wilson.
Aye.
Ross.
Aye.
6 aye.
All right, then I will close the public hearing. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Motion by Trustee Garner, second by Trustee Balmas. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, we've adjourned the public hearing, and in 1 minute, we'll start our regular board meeting.